Car wash. Payday. We're going the premium soft cloth wash with Rain X. $2 extra. We're pushing it up. I really wanted to go live today or this morning or like now, and I'm still not home. Yesterday was errand crazy, and today was meant to be home day. Yet I'm still out and about doing errands at 2:20 in the afternoon. But I thought I'd go live and talk about all the potty mouth YouTubers who need to wash their mouths out with soap. So why not bring them here to the car wash? Yeah, to the car wash. I actually don't give a fuck about potty mouth YouTubers. I think most of you who know me by now know that. Just seemed appropriate as I'm sitting in a fucking car wash. Soulmate, hello, gorgeous. How you doing? Don't mind me either. I've got some snacks. I got a smoothie after the gym, but I'm still hungry, so I've got some cheese. Some strawberries. Loud in here. My door's not properly shut. Hang on. That's better. It's a bit louder than usual. Yeah, so I'll be chomping on a few snacks because I've still got the post-gym munchies. It's such an amazing day here. We have not really had a bit of winter at all. I mean, tomorrow's not going to be very warm, but today it's like 19 degrees. I'm in a tank top. Oh, yeah. Well, bad shit was meant to happen this morning, but it got postponed. Finn had something on, so the last couple have been great. In fact, the episode two episodes back, Cement Shoes reckon it's the best batshit episode ever. I loved me a car wash. I'm usually in the bays straight ahead. I usually do it manually, but if my car needs washing and it coincides with payday, I cheat myself. I can't wash my car at home because I'm on tank water. That's a big waste of water. So I just pay for somebody else's. But it's worth it. You've got to have a treat occasionally, like, because I do it manually usually. This is luxury, people. What do I think of BK? Waiving his right to a speedy trial. I have not heard this news. I don't have an opinion on it because I didn't know that he had. And the whole speedy trial thing's a bit of a novelty to us Aussies. I will investigate and let you know. Hey, Francesca. You thought it was raining? It's actually a really gorgeous day. We're just we're just washing our mouths out with soap at the car wash. My door was partly open. I've already vacuumed the car. Um, but when I first drove in here, I was like, um, "This is really noisy." And it's like, yeah, probably because your door's open about a centimeter. You have a dead phone? You will need to get another one. Right, so there's no court on the 2nd. Hey, Scout. Yeah, your phone is dead. I just read that. Could be years before the trial now. Oh, hey, Cody. At the car wash, Groover? Yeah, we're at the car wash. I paid for I normally get the basic one, which is like $16. I went for the premium soft cloth with Rain X. I splashed out $22. The biff is going to be fucking sparkling. But I wanted to because I've got to go to a memorial or a celebration of life, I guess is what you call it. It's not going to be doom and gloom. Everyone's got to wear bright colours. You're not allowed to wear black. It's my friend who died in London back in June. But he's a Tassie guy, so this is like his send-off from all of his Tasmanian friends and family and colleagues. But in case I've got to give people lifts and stuff, I was like, get Biff looking, at least looking shiny. Oh, really, Solomon? Huh. Look, I'll be honest, if I see BK in a headline in a notification on my channel, I just don't bother. But I will look into it for sure. Oh, thank you, Cody. It's cool. Like we've all kind of grieved for Pete by now, but tomorrow will be a really cool send off. My brother's giving one of the eulogy, well, not eulogies, but it's not his funeral. It's like a gathering of all the Tassie people. That'd be lovely. Yeah, even if they get convicted, imposing the actual penalty can take years too. To be honest, I'm way more interested in Lucy Letby than I am Brian Koberger at the moment. I just keep trying to work out what the fuck her motive was, and oh, guys, cool. I'm going to take you and show you something that I want to buy. I also wanted to go live because I'm transferring a heap of old stuff from my Tasmania Calling channel over to this channel, so that all the crime stuff I've done in the last 5 years is over here. But I don't want to confuse people. There's no way for me to. I mean, I could put in the headline that it was. I suppose I could put the date or something, and then change it. But I'm getting a lot of messages going, "Oh my god, I missed it, replay crew, and what happened? Did you get struck by JLR?" And it's all old stuff, but I just want everything I've done regarding crime over here and off the other channel, so the other channel can just be purely Tassie. But guys, it's called a retro RV. There's no way I'm going to be able to give you a really good look at it, but it's straight ahead. So from the back, it looks like a caravan. I'm going to do a loop-to-loop. And this little one is called Heidi. I'll pull up behind her. You can hire them. So, yeah, the back is sort of like a retro caravan, but the front is a combi. Yes, Lucy Letby is the nurse. Yeah, I can't work her out either, and I want to. Suitcase Sarah Boone's attorney has filed to be removed from her case. Oh, God, it's all happening. You guys are awesome. Thanks for all the updates. So this little one's called Heidi, and there's another one that lives here that's owned by people that live here called Freya. And, I mean, I need to win the lottery to win one. They're like 100 grand. But I'm going to do a little Yui and show you the other side of them. But they are divine, and they've got all the OG combi joinery and stuff in them. But yeah, let me do a little Yui, and you'll get to. Unfortunately, there's a car park right in front of Heidi, but hopefully you'll get to see the little combi front. But I'm going to hire one. I've got to take a week off in January, and I'm going to drive around Tassie, and I'll be live on Tasmania Calling while we travel around. Can you see her? Hang on, let me see if I can do this. Look at her. I can go on a bit of an angle. Look at her. Are you all looking at the gorgeous sky? Look at Heidi. Tell me that isn't the cutest fucking thing you've ever seen. It's like, that is absolute porn for me. It's got my favourite vans in the whole world, combi, combined with a retro caravan that you can stand up in and there's room. And the combi bit's been fully redone, so it's not going to break down every 30 seconds. So in January, I'm hiring one for a week. I've been watching every video too, Francesca. I wasn't going to I don't normally do baby murderers. I mean, I've covered deaths of children that family annihilators have murdered, but isn't she cool? They're all over Australia. But someone down here's bought a couple and they're now here, and you can hire them from right here. My local, well, it's not my town, the next town over. So I'm going to book it, and I'm taking a week off in January, and I'm going to put Sunny in the cat hotel. And it's going to be summer holidays, and it's going to be crazy, but I don't care. Heidi and I are going to hit the road. Actually, I probably do care if it's school holidays, come to think of it. Maybe I should just take my birthday off in January and then go away for a week in Feb whenever the schools go back. Let's do that. Yeah, I mean, I did mention Lucy Letby's full name the other day, but I'm not very good at repeating what I'm talking about. Well, I sure am, because a lot of people do come in and they don't know what I'm talking about. But that's one thing that really annoys me on YouTube is so many creators that, you know, they're live for several hours and have hundreds of people watching them. They don't give anyone a recap, and then there's all those annoying fuckwits in chat that are like, I'm late. What are you talking about? It's like, you're late. Work it out yourself, you fucker. But, dude, that was really close to me. That pea plater. My hair blew. Yeah, Tori and Heidi's summer adventures. Anywho, I'm also going to try and do a collaboration with a guy that was on the Australian first season of Australian Alone. My clever sister worked out that he lives where I live, and he's got a YouTube channel and a Facebook page, and he does all of this deep sea diving and fishing, and he's got a little smoker at the back of his house where he smokes like bluefin tuna heads, and I've got to hunt Chris down and do some collabing with him. He's fucking great. That's my plan when I am no longer required to work. But to buy one of those little retro RVs, I've got to win cross all that. So there's a lot of crime stuff going on, and I'm really fascinated that you're into it too, Francesca, because I I have listened to so many different things as well. Every time there's a new one in my timeline, I listen, and I've listened to one several times over. But in a nutshell, Scout, she has just been found guilty of murdering 7 babies and then attempted murder of 6 more. Plus, they're saying there's probably more babies. Well, there are. They're still doing more investigations into her and where she's worked. And hi, Humanimal. Yeah, but I'm not sure she's a sadist either. I'm with you, Francesca. There's just... I mean, obviously she has sadistic tendencies. I mean, you have to kill somebody, but especially to kill teeny tiny little vulnerable premature babies. I listened to one person sort of going through all the different psych terms. I reckon you would have as well, Francesca. Like going through each individual one, like psychopath, sadist, the Munchausen's by proxy, and every single thing that they bring up, there's specific traits, even though this particular dude was saying that not every person ticks every box, but there's standard traits that all of these different labels require, and that's how they can kind of come up with these diagnoses, because they can't do any testing or anything. Like, I mean, they can do, questionnaire testing, but it's not like they can draw some blood and decide that, yes, you're definitely this thing. But she misses out on each of the different labels, and he went through heaps. And she's missing, like, a couple of the vital ones in each tick box. It's really interesting. Like, I mean, she's got everybody puzzled, except the jury, thank God. Is that Groovy Plumy in the chat? Look at all the beautiful people. God, I love this channel. I love our community. I just see names and I'm like, oh, all the lovely people. And the reason I'm going live is I did want to go live earlier, but I'm going to be going live tonight and a lot of you will be asleep. I'm going to do part 4 of the Mushroom Mystery. I've got some more updates on that. And also I've got an article that I want to read and react to. And it's going to be a doozy. I'm not holding back. To prove a point, basically. I'm planning on doing the first of 2 watch parties. In fact, I might try and do both of them on the Bruce Lerman, Brittany Higgins story. And I want to do them in USA audience time slots, because I think you guys are going to get absolutely mind blown by this story. And it highlights the inadequacies of our judicial system, prosecution, mainstream media, powerful media, parliament, politicians, former prime minister. It's got fucking everything. And I really want you guys to, in other parts of the world, to see it, because I'm not afraid to show you how fucked up something can become in Australia. And it is the most insanely fucked up thing ever. Francesca also flicked me the news that Ickard Mel is also suing Brian Upchurch. So I thought we'd look at the Rodney family lawsuit in a bit more detail, and along with the Ickard Mel, see what you guys think about those lawsuits. And I've also got my first literal law of crime and cooking show ready as well. I've written the first episode where I'm going to be combining cooking and crime. And it's another Australian story. It's a doozy. I'm not actually going to be cooking, but I am going to be eating. But not a lot, just a little bit, because it's relevant. I've got so many plans, guys. I have so many plans. But tomorrow I'm going to be back at work. And then we've got Pete's celebration of life. And then on the weekend, I'm hopefully going to be able to do 4 lives. Wow, on this channel alone, Tori, that's insane. I always check what time it is in New York for you, Scout, and I will set up the lives so they're scheduled. Mind you, if the weather is like this, they're going to be pretty snappy lives, guys. I've also got a commitment on Sunday. That goes to 1. I'm volunteering for the Yes campaign, so I'm helping out at the Brim Creek Farmers Market. But that could be I'm not going to go political on my channel, but that could be a Tasmania calling. Might do a quick run around and look at some things at the farmers market. I'm not telling you, Francesca, I won't be eating a human being on the first live that I do, but I do have a couple of cannibalism ones, but they were not, Catherine Knight's on the list, obviously, but I've already got 90 pages of cases involving food. So I'll add cannibalism to the list. I'm so bummed that my old computer blew up because I had literally another 290 episodes of Smooth Criminal Podcast, and so many of them were crimes involving food. But I don't mind starting at the very beginning again. It's a very good place to start. But I think it'd be fun. It'd be fun to have that sort of focus series. In fact, the Eke and Mel, Kylie Rodney thing will probably be important. I really want to do the Bruce Lerham and Brittany Higgins so badly. I can't wait to see what you guys think of it. This is the right side of the road, the correct side of the road, Plenty. I'll take us down to talking spot so we can just have a quick nattaroony. I reckon the surf beach where I live will be a bit busy. I'm also mindful that my phone will probably overheat because it's such a warm day. That's why the window's down, to try and keep my phone cool. But there's a lot, and now we've got the Brian Koberger stuff, the Sarah Boone stuff, and I'm sort of wanting to do a Lucy Lefty show as well. No, it's completely fucked, Scout. We tried. It's very big on hacking. Incredibly good security system on that computer in terms of protecting everything precious with keys, but write the keys down before the computer blows up. Bloody genius. Let's put in these amazing security systems to stop you from being hacked, or if somebody gets your computer, they can't access certain things. And they tell you when you Google where the key is, and it's like, the computer has blown up. I cannot actually access the computer to access where you put the fucking key, you fucks. No, it's okay, Scout. I've recovered from that. It was like a cleansing experience. I did lose some photos and stuff like that, but, you know, now everything is being backed up to the cloud. Let's go to the secret, not the secret spot, but the talking spot. So a friend of mine was travelling overseas a few years ago, well, a couple of decades ago, kept forgetting how friggin' old we are, and she lost her address book, you know, back in the days before mobile phones, when you had your little hard copy address book that you travelled with. And it had been her address book for most of her life, so it had absolutely everybody in there. And I remember Christina and I at the time talking about it, and I was like, oh my God, I'd die if I lost my address book. Like, I can't remember everyone's addresses and phone numbers. And then I remembered Christina saying it was such a blessing because she remembered all of the addresses and phone numbers of the people that she cared about, but all those sort of excess hanger-oners, that was it. They were gone. Too bad, so sad. So that's how I looked at my computer, was like a cleanse. I mean, there are a few things that were a bit of a pain, like my working from home Excel spreadsheet that recorded all of the hours and days that I worked from home for my tax return, and having to do that again from scratch has been a gigantic pain in the ass. The same as my log book, like for claiming kilometres, like just, yeah. There are a few things that were a bit of a, oh really? That's already the boring aspect of my life, that kind of shit. So having to do all of that from scratch was a pain. But yeah, I've already got 90 pages of doing 1 hour of research a couple of, you know, maybe a week ago. I was going to say a couple of days ago, but it was a couple of weeks. Well, it was a week ago. A couple of days after I changed my channel name, I did an hour of research and I've already got 90 pages worth of stuff. Got plenty to talk about, along with all the other shit. But yeah, I kind of want to do a Lucy. Where's Humanimal? I want her to come back in. You still around, Humanimal? Because yeah, there's this. It's just so hard. I can't work her out either, Francesca, at all. Like, there's definitely a victim thing going on. Like she, you know, being portrayed as the victim. But then there's also the martyrdom side of her, like the babies that made it through, and you know, like she sort of was very discreet, I guess, with which babies she killed. And then there's all these people that are so close to her that, you know, there's nothing about her. There's nothing extraordinary about her, but there was nothing creepy or weird about her either. And then there's, oh God, my audience has dropped by 50% since I've pulled up in this beautiful spot. What, do you prefer it when the audio is appalling and you can't hear half of what I'm saying? Got the sun in my eyes. And then her parents are just in absolute denial, even though the evidence is so irrefutable. Yeah, and then there's that sort of really weird juvenile, like you said, her bedroom looked like it belonged to a teenager. There's this very sort of childish um, aspect to her, but by all standards, she was a good student, and people liked her at work. And no, I know you mean the view, not her bedroom. And then there's the doctor that she had the crush on, and then they were saying that one of the nurse's theories was that she wanted the babies to collapse so that this doctor would be called to the ward to help revive the babies, and she'd get to be near him. But then somebody else said he'd only been working there for 4 weeks when the murders started. But I was like, well, people fall in love with scammers in 48 hours, so she's obviously got some sort of obsessive thing going on. It's all just so weird. Yep, she's got the older parent thing. Apologies to anyone in chat, but the kids of older parents can often be quite kooky. And then there's just the absolute viciousness of her and the absolute evil within her. And now there's a theory flying around today that all of her victims were black, which I hadn't heard that before, and that she only targeted black families. And I'm like, really? I don't trust where that came from. But that was another thing that just got thrown in, that it was like this extreme racism. I'm like, I don't think so. But who friggin' knows with her? And the fact that she is now the worst child killer in UK history. She's worse than the Wests. She's worse than the bloody Moore murderers. Like, she's the worst. That's quite an achievement. Severely depressed about her not having her own family, resentment. Yeah, I heard that one too. But she was only like 33. Well, she's 33 now. Like, she was 28. She was in her 20s when she was killing. Don't give up, kiddo. If you has a family man, I've got a friend who had her first baby at 52. Can't think of anything worse, but that's what Lenka did. She made a baby at 52. Look, okay, if she got to, there's some of those sort of older, frumpier nurses that I hate that they call them angels of death, because there's nothing angelic about them at all. But some of them say, oh, these people were old and frail and half dead anyway. I did them a favour. But they were sort of preempting the whole voluntary assisted dying movement. And that's why they saw themselves as angels. But somebody taking the lives of tiny babies you can hold in your hand, in the palm of your hand, I mean, there's something fucked up going on. But even in photos of her, she doesn't look like a typical fucked up, like, there's no sort of creepy, Jodie Arias face going on. The German nurse did it because he was bored. Yeah, a bit quiet around here today. Let's kill somebody so we can get a bit of action. Just, sit there, watch the dead patient being wheeled out on a gurney. Well, that brightened up my dull evening. I'm trying to remember the name of the nurse. I'm not sure. I think she's actually Canadian. Another angel of death. But she was known to be fucking batshit, like, everyone who encountered her said she was she was really odd. Whereas Lucy, she does. She looks very average, very beige. She's not insanely beautiful, but she's not a pig dog either. I mean, she's erring towards the better looking group than the, ugly, which is probably why, it's not why she slipped under the radar for so long, because she was well and truly on the radar and they did fucking nothing about it. Even when the doctors were pleading. But that hospital management is just, they've got so much to answer for, like. It's just horrifying. Absolutely horrifying. But one thing that's really interesting with her too is, like in Australia, the way our systems work, a lot of people who are convicted of murder end up doing like 15, 16, 18 years. But in the UK, with her, they've imposed the lifetime order. Like, there is an option for an order that basically just says, you're gone, see you later. The key has been thrown away. Good riddance. And see, stuff like the theory about not being able to have kids makes no sense to me ever when it's something like, when people suggest something like that, because it's, she was intelligent enough to know that if she got caught murdering, she was going to jail forever and she would never have a family. It's the same with all of these fuckers who kill their children in custody disputes. I showed her, she'll never see the kids again. Well, neither will you fuckwit, because you're now in jail. Or the Chris Wattses, they meet a bit of fluff and suddenly they want the young fluff and they want their existing world to just disappear so they can start anew with the dumb bit of fluff. So they kill everybody and, oopsie, caught. The only fluff you're going to be getting now in prison has a penis. Pal. How'd that little plan work out for you, Chrissy babes? There's a lot to discuss. Although right now, clearly, there isn't, because I'm just doing a monologue. It's probably already turned into a soliloquy. So noticeable when you get like 12 or 13 people watching and then everyone goes. It's like, Whereas if you've got 300 people watching, you wouldn't notice 4 or 5 people logging off. And just when I said that, another person left. God, you guys are awesome. Well, you break my heart. Well, no one's chatting. The crowd's departing, so I might as well end this. And I might just sit here and drink my coffee and enjoy the view. Get home to Sunny. I've got so much to do at home. I'm going to get Mrs. Anderson cranked up, doing a round. Get her doing some vacuuming. I've got some washing to hang out. Yeah, I'll be live tonight. Probably more like 7:30. Because, tomorrow's going to be a really long day at work, and then my sister and I are going straight from work to Pete's his celebration of life, so it might be a late one tonight. But, everybody be quiet. So I'm going to end this live. Thanks for hanging out with me, Groovereenies. I really just wanted to say that I am uploading a lot of stuff from my other channel at the moment, so please don't feel like you've missed a live or anything like that. You haven't. I will be putting a little note in the description that says this is an old video from my other channel. Hey, Kylie. Well, you're saying g'day, but no one's chatting anymore, babes, so you might not get a cheery g'day back from anybody. I'm in that weird time of day when going live on YouTube in Australia isn't really ideal. Although, weirdly, I think it's Tuesdays, according to my audience data in my backstage area of my channel. Tuesdays at 3 p.m, the bulk of my clients, my community are active on YouTube, allegedly, but not any other day of the week, just Tuesdays. Yeah, I'm doing a mushroom update tonight. Oh, cool, you're back, Francesca. Cool, so I can say goodbye to you too. Yeah, I'm doing a mushy update at 7:30. Part 4. Nothing too... there's not a lot to report on because the police have already said, like over a week ago, they were remaining tight-lipped to keep the sleuths at bay. But a lot of really bad tabloidy newspapers are having a fucking field day at the moment. But there are some updates, and then I'm going to react to a tabloid article just to show how much mainstream media feeds these internet sleuths who fuck with cases. I'm proving a point. Hi, Tai Mom, Tizzy Mom. That's a mysterious sentence. Does it have an ending? But it's good to have you here. How do we pronounce your name? Are you Tizzy Mom? Or are you Tai Mom? Oh, Scout's around. Scout, I'm going away for a week in October. I'm going on holiday to Adelaide to catch up with my friend Georgie. And Sunny is going to become... She will over time become a frequent flyer at the Cat Hotel, but she's going to be having her first stay at the Cat Hotel. I can't wait to show you the Cat Hotel, but that'll be on the Tasmania calling because it's a Tassie thing. But Sunny's going to get to be an inmate at the Cat Hotel. Their website reads like a 5-star hotel. It's fucking priceless. I'm so happy you found it. Found what? What did I find? Did I just say I found Jesus. No, I didn't. I found... What did I find, Tizzy Mom? Tai Mom? You're so cryptic. Because I feel like I still haven't found what I'm looking for. But you're happy that I found it. But what did I find? I need more snacks. I need to get home. I've got a yummy fruit salad in the fridge. I want to dig into that. Best time of the day to eat fruit, everyone, is 4 p.m. Between 3 and 4. Well, between 3 and 4:30. You want to eat fruit at least a couple of hours before you have dinner. We don't know, Francesca. Tizzy Mom is mysterious. And we like that here. So I'm so glad you found us. Tizzy Mom, Tai Mom. How do we pronounce that? Put it in phonetics in chat for me. Is it thank you, snog you, Mom? Yeah, I used to too, Francesca, but my little yogi, Bridie, when I went to one of her retreats about Ayurveda and Ayurvedic eating and medicine and stuff, told us all that you should eat fruit completely away from any other things that you put into your belly so that they're fully digested and they don't cancel things out or get cancelled out by whatever you had for dinner. And then also told us, and this is where I fell in a heap, and actually had one this very morning. You shouldn't mix fruit and dairy either. So all those fruit pies with a big blob of cream on them, or fruit salad with a blob of ice cream or cream, or a smoothie. Yeah, that's true, Carly. I'm hopeless typing on my phone, so there's no judgment. I'm just curious. Yeah, fruit by the pool. I've been craving fruit a lot. And yesterday I was like, make a fruit salad. And I love taking a fruit salad to work. It's so refreshing, just like in between phone calls, to just eat a couple of pieces of fruit out of my little fruit salad. And I change my fruit salads. I mix them up a bit. So at the moment, I've got a strawberry, apple, rock melon, passion fruit, banana, but I don't have banana till I'm about to eat it. What else is there? There's something else. There's something else. And then a little bit of lemon juice and a little tiny bit of honey and mint. And then the one before that was a pineapple, watermelon, rock melon one. And the next one I'm going to do is a grape, watermelon, and something. I like mixing them up. Oh, you just smashed a mango. Yum. I don't bother eating mangoes here. I mean, we can buy them here, but they cost a fortune because we can't grow them here. And B, they never taste as good as they do in the tropics. That's the joy of travel, is like in Singapore over summer, just eating all the tropical fruits where they should be eaten. Yeah, and that sort of mid-afternoon is when Ayurvedas say you should, or Ayurvedic practitioners say is when we should be eating our fruit. But yeah, so this morning my smoothie had banana and dairy and peanut butter and protein powder, and it was fucking delicious. Yeah, grape and watermelon. Yum. Yum. It's because we've been having such lovely weather. It feels like summer. And I'm eating heaps of salad. Like I'm making proteins and just putting some salad on my plate. Like I'm not doing veggies at all. Even when it's been cold, I'm just totally, my body is just in fruit and salad mode now. I don't want heavy pastas or creamy shit or mashed potato or veggies of any description. I've eaten so many, but I just want all the summer food now. The weather's been insane. I mean, tomorrow's only going to be 15, but it's 19 at the moment, and it's beautiful. Let's just quickly tootle around to the surf beach, and we can say our goodbyes. Yeah, well, it feels like summer in Tassie. I've got friends down from Sydney that I caught up with after work on Tuesday, and well, one friend who brought a friend with her, and now she's my friend too. Because that's the way it works. If you've got friends who introduce you to their friends because they're already your friend, you're pretty likely you're going to get on well with their friends too. And that's what happened. So Shabnam is also my friend now. She's an exquisite human being. Oh my God, speaking of exquisite, my optometrist told me today that I have an exquisite macula. And I've still got 20/20 vision, which is actually quite rare. And she told me I have like the highest distinction in terms of eye health, because I've also got small optic nerves, and that's rare at my age. It's the size of your optic nerve that leads to all of the things that go wrong with your eyes as you get old, and then the exquisite macula is why it's highly unlikely that I will have macular degeneration. She's like, the genes you've got for eyeballs are like deluxe. I said, well, look, I'll take the double chin gene over shitty eyesight any day. But I couldn't believe it. It's like, really, I get like the best report card of my life, and it's my eyeballs. But she was like, be proud. You tell your family and friends and everyone you know that you have exquisite macula and 20/20 vision. Like, I've basically got better vision than a 12-year-old. You're 25 and your vision is shocking, Cody. But I've got some new specs on the way, and I've also got prescription sunnies coming, so I can, because going live driving, it's kind of naughty anyway, but it's really annoying having like the glare in my face and not being able to wear sunnies, because then I can't read chat in the brief opportunities I do get to read chat. So I was like, I want prescription, and also at the beach, like I love taking my books down to the beach, but I have to put on my bloody readers, my prescription reading glasses to read my book, whereas now, hopefully, I'll be able to wear my sunnies. But yeah, she told me my long distance vision is incredible. And if I was a Neanderthal, my job would have been a spotter. Like, I would have been put up in high places so I could spot where all the animals were roaming from afar and send the hunters in that direction. I mean, I was kind of excited to finally get there's something about my body that's really, really good, but it's eyeballs. Like, nobody cares. It's not like, I felt like if I ever decided to go on a dating site, like in my late 90s or something, I'm a spin. I'm 93 and I have exquisite macula. That's probably the only time I'm ever going to be able to use it. Although all of my suitors won't be able to fucking read anything online. They won't know that I have exquisite macula. But they are her words. Yeah, I need reading glasses too because of the amount of time I spend on screens and stuff like that. But my even my script for that, it's pretty low. But I'm not one of those people that I can't handle taking glasses on. I just prefer to leave them on. And you get so used to wearing them that when you drop them on, like suddenly you've got to read something or wherever, and there's where the fuck are my glasses? It's just easier to buy a pair and just chuck them on. So part of the lens is completely clear so that my long distance vision is not impacted. But tiny print, especially in contracts, I need glasses for that. Not a very big swell today. There's a few surfers out, but DWS, hello, you're 39 and you have 20/20 as well. I didn't realise that. Well, I kind of did know it was rare because my other optometrist, who my new optometrist works with, they're both locums. They move around. When Victoria did my eye test a couple of years ago, she's like, "You've got 20/20 vision. It's actually quite rare." But it's incredibly rare in a 39-year-old, and it's even rarer in a 56-year-old. Go me. I can actually say to people, look, I'm a bit bit chunky, I'm middle-aged, I've got a double chin, like I'm your typical chunky 50-something-year-old woman, 56-year-old, in fact. But my eyes, I have exquisite macula. And I'm damn proud of that. But yeah, my long distance is great. So I've got multi-focal lenses and like looking straight ahead like now, and I've got glasses on now. That part of the lens is completely clear. But if I'm reading the comments in chat, I have to tip my head up a little bit and look through the bottom bit of my lenses. Well, we've covered everything except crime. No, we have. So I've got up to speed. So there's some Coburger news. Why has he waived his right to a speedy trial? And why would, okay, in Australia, the way the court system is so clogged and diaries and calendars and shit, if you're representing someone and you're ready to go and the other side's ready to go and you've got a court date coming up, there's no way you'd fucking do anything to vacate that date because you could suddenly be waiting 2 years. But it sounds like by waiving the speedy trial, then Coburger's court date just completely got pulled. I guess there's other priorities, speedy trials. We don't have the speedy trial thing. Joey Wilson, where the fuck have you been? Oh my God, I was about to do a video. Well, not right now, but in the next 48 hours. And it was going to be Where's Joey? And it was going to be like a Where's Wally? Oh, legal advice? I'm very limited on what I can give you advice on. You were backing out of a car park today and hit a car. Right? Sorry to hear that. That was not fun. And then what? You need to know if it's your fault. That will be actually assessed by people that are qualified to assess the percentage of responsibility with I can't give you advice on this either because every state has its own motor vehicle act. But generally speaking, the law of negligence, just by being on the road, you're already contributing to an accident. And what they do is they apportion liability in percentages. So based on all kinds of things, including speed, road conditions, witness accounts, you name it, at some point they will assess it and work out which percentage each of you is responsible. I don't know what the deal is. See, car parks here, I don't think it makes any difference whether you're on the street or in a car park. Yeah, but you know what I've noticed, Joe? Interestingly, I was talking to my sister about it the other day, but I would have thought so, yes. We cuddled, shook hands, and said we're both at fault. But when I drove off, she took a photo. Car parks are too he said, she said in Queensland anyway, or maybe it's just shopping centre. Yeah, I think a shopping centre. I don't know. Well, actually, no, I don't know. One thing I've noticed is, and it's not your situation, Joey, but the rule of thumb was you don't start reversing out of a park if there are any cars on the road, like if there's cars coming and going. We've noticed the younger generation, I don't know what driving school they went to, they don't give a fuck if somebody's driving past them. They just start reversing out. And like I said, I'm not saying that's what happened with you, but yeah, if you're reversing out and it's visible to a car, then they would be stupid to not stop. But Joey, all you have to do is make write a statement for yourself now. And the other thing is, you could actually file a report with the police. You could get in first. But often excess is more than the cost of repairing stuff too. But what I would do at the very least today is type up a statement of what happened and, put the date, where it was, the time, write exactly what happened so that you've got like a version of it that you don't have to think of and write in 3 weeks' time if something rocks up in the mail. No, I know that you said that. I was just saying my sister and I have noticed a lot of cars, and I hate to say it, but they're primarily young drivers. If you're in a car park or even tootling along the road, they just start pulling out. They don't give a fuck. They expect you to stop. You did put it on your Facebook privately? And even though it's only cosmetic, just get a couple of photos too. Well, it's lovely to see you because I've been thinking of you a lot and I've been sending little messages up to you. Just been going, hi, Joey. But I've been thinking about you a lot and I've been missing you. So it's lovely to see you, gorgeous. Yeah, just take a few pictures as well, even though, like you said, it's just cosmetic, but just sort of do your own, like, report. And hopefully this other person isn't a dickhead. I mean, you could call the police and just get an incident report. Is there insurance in the situation? Yeah. Well, no, even then, where I've practiced law in Australia, just by being on the road, you're normally attributed 5 or 10% contributory negligence. Copy paste from Google. Because the other stuff you wrote about a percentage, I mentioned that earlier, but I've never had I haven't done personal injury law for a long time, but I did a lot of motor vehicle accident stuff. And I never had not one, where one driver was held 100% responsible. In fact, the only time I think that happens is if somebody runs into a parked car that doesn't have anyone sitting in it. But like I said, every state's got its own motor vehicle act, so you're so cute. Copy paste from Google. Google lawyer. Oh, am I frozen? Oh no. But even now, being back in Tassie where I grew up, like the motor vehicle act here is very different to the one in South Australia and the penalties and everything. But the crux of car accidents is negligence. And there's always a percentage of contributory negligence. Like, even if you're sitting at a red light and somebody rear ends you, the fact that you are actually in a car on a road, there's automatically a percentage put on you as well. But it might be as low as 5%. Did you have any witnesses, Joey? Did anyone else see it? Because if you end up having to fight it, the other thing is get onto the car park where it happened and see if there's any CCTV. This could be, you could sleuth your own story. Been a couple of good waves. Half the time I just think the surfers just want to I'll see we're already onto it, man. Go, Joey. People just do whatever the fuck they want these days. Like, another rule that we learned when we were learning to drive, which I still do, but so many people don't, is when you're driving along and there's a park on the side of the road and you indicate and you need to reverse into it. Back when I was learning, if you were the car behind, you had to stop before you got to the bonnet or the front of the car that you were going to be, the person was going to be reversing in front of. These days, they come right up your ass and then they blast you. And it's like, I've slowed down, I've indicated, and now I need to reverse into that spot. And thank you for blocking it. Yeah, I know you don't care about your car, but if they do something, I mean, they may have just taken your rego because they want to get an incident report as well. I mean, the only reason you get an incident report is if you're going to do an insurance claim. And then the insurers are the ones that battle out and work out the percentages. But so many people, their excess ends up costing more than the repair bill. They end up, negotiating a settlement, and if somebody has to pay for something, then they do it just in installments or whatever. But yeah, excess would be more than above. Yeah, exactly. I mean, if it was a total smash up, different story. But if it's just a bit of a, if you've just been, it's a bit of a dodge 'em car kind of situation, just, oh, well, my car's got another little war story, and you move on. I mean, if they do anything, the best thing you can do is bring out the CCTV. You didn't give way, motherfucker. But I doubt they're going to do much about it because, again, it's potentially going to cost them more, especially if they need to get a lawyer involved. Their legal fees are going to be way more than any possible repair bill. Better Call Tour. I know, I still love that name. The only reason I stopped that was because I went into a live one day and a creator who I'm not particularly fond of anyway. So many people have got Better Call Saul type names. I was like, yeah, but I'm a fucking lawyer. It's funny as. Nah. So I got rid of it. But I like my new channel name because I'm going to be doing all of these amazing cases of crimes involving food, and it's going to be fabulous. And sometimes I'll be cooking, and I'm going to be making a beef Wellington, not for a while, but when we find out what happened in the mushroom mystery, I'll be doing a beef Wellington. Yeah, you can be your own lawyer, exactly. What's the temp down here? 19 degrees. But you've got to add about 5 degrees. So it's probably the equivalent of 23 in Brisbane, but without humidity. Because the sun down here was 24, because the sun here is so bitey. I've got to wash my hair today because I've got this funeral thing. Well, celebration of life tomorrow. Don't forget to do that. I'll do that before I go live tonight. But I'm going to head home. I want to get some stuff done, be a bit of a domestic, make some dinner. I want to eat some fruit salad as soon as I get home, make some din-dins, and then I'll be live and we'll be discussing some updates on the mushroom mystery, and then having a look at an article, and I will be illustrating why people who follow true crime who don't rely on reliable sources are a huge part of the problem, because they read the tabloid shit or they listen to tabloid stations and they run with it on the YouTube world, and it's just a big fat fucking mess. And I found an article, it's like the entire article, every sentence for anyone who has been following the mushroom mystery, already knows that there's fairly limited facts and the cops are very tight-lipped about the investigation, rightly so. And we can pretty much debunk 99% of this fucking article. And it will be a fun time. But please, nobody recommend I watch Dr. Todd Grande because I don't like him. He writes some funny little captions and has a little dry joke here and there, but he never ever cites his sources. And I know for a fact the sources he has relied on in covering the murder mystery, the mushroom mystery, along with Mommy Rambling's blog, they have both used mega tabloid articles to formulate opinions. So the next person who ever tells me I need to listen to Dr. Todd Grande will be timed out. Mods on this channel, take heed. I do not need that man recommended to me again. Is that cement shoes? Oh, I might have to hang around for 5 more minutes. How are you, Groover? Because Mummy Ramblings, I forgot how bad she is at true crime. She just reads articles. That's all she does. I mean, admittedly, I am reacting to an article tonight, but that requires me reading it to react to it. But you guys know that if I show an article or whatever, I drop the links in the chat. You guys can right-click it and have it there to read it in full if you want to later, but I don't read every single word out. Thank you. Thank you, Cement Shoes. I agree. I feel the same way about the Glare. I heard the Glare this morning trying to convince people that he's not into drama. And yet in recent weeks there's been all of these, like, God almighty, he sounds like a woman sitting in a lunchroom in an office bitching about his work colleagues all the time. He's so into the whole gossipy drama. No, well, on my channel, okay, I do call out Bullhorn Betty, but it's because they are impacting victims' lives. Yeah, you can keep telling yourself that, mate. You sound like the women I've spent most of my life avoiding. The gossipy, bitchy, crybaby, oh, they were mean to me sort of person. Morbid, sensational. But Morbid was sensational when nobody knew about him. My girl Waffles. Hello, gorgeous. Have I seen the parody of Merb? I think I have, and I think I commented on it. I can't remember. Yeah, well, he's refusing to have a debate with BX Beast Boy because he thinks BX Beast Boy is a drunk, and I'm like, I can't keep up with you drunks. I mean, pot, kettle, g'day. One of the funniest things, though, that Glare has said recently was on a par with, I'm not racist, I have black friends. He said, I'm not a misogynist, most of my friends are female. I was like, you're doing the I'm not racist because I've got black friends. Yeah, I don't hate women because most of my best friends are women. Yeah. But he was all, I'm not into the drama at all. I hate the drama. But because Morbid wants to do CramaCon, he's talking about that. And it's like, well, are you drama or aren't you the Glare? I still don't know what he's doing on YouTube. In a very female, top-heavy community. And popping up on panels with all of these women talking about other women. And he's there in the thick of it. Like, if you met this guy and went on a date with him, you know, what do you do? Oh, I'm on YouTube. And you checked out a few of his videos, you'd be like, I don't know if I want to date this man. He seems to be into just hanging out with women online, bitching about other women online. I think everyone's doing very well, my girl Waffles. You've got to see it. I think I have. Melmo is a classic. I don't think you've ever said that about me with batshit and all the little quirky things I do, cement shoes. You like coming in here and praising Mel Mel, and it hurts, man. No, she's a crack up. I'm pretty sure I watched it and put a comment under there. No, no, no. The best thing I can suggest if you want to understand the morbid stuff, like having heard one side of it, is he did a live in the last week. You might need to try a few of them to find the right one. And he explains the entire trolling history that he has experienced on YouTube, including the outcome of an FBI investigation into him and all of these allegations. And I think it's very important that everybody listens to it, because I've been on YouTube for 5 years and I've known Jimmer for most of that time. And when I came across his former mod who was putting all this salacious information out, I did my own research. But Morbid has been very tight-lipped about it, and has said very little other than people understanding that he's been brutally trolled on YouTube for years now. But it's very important that people listen to what he says too. And then there's also other things out there that are kind of independent assessments of it. Yeah, that's bragging up batshit. That's Finn and I. It's not me, man. You're not calling me comedy gold. Hey, Bristol. Sweet dreams. Oh, it wasn't that exciting alive. I went through a car wash and we've talked about numerous cases and life matters as we always do, but lovely to see you. Well, I don't think we are, but thank you, Cement Shoes. Porn Bond. Well, and don't believe it until you've heard the other side, is what I'm saying. And the other thing is, unfortunately, Morbid has now become quite popular very quickly because in a new community, because of people like the Glare are getting up on his panel. And there's a long history there, and a lot of the new people on YouTube are going, I know there's all these histories, but I don't care about them. But you actually should. But one of his lives in the last week, like, he initially was this full-on shock jock, but he's done a lot of different things on YouTube. But if you don't take my word for it, listen to him. He talks about what happened when people contacted the FBI about him. And in a nutshell, they said, we know that these videos, these clips and everything, or these little videos that have been sent to us have been clipped. They've all been tampered with. They've been spliced. Like, they've taken you saying something and then kids, because he used to do a show where he interviewed kids as well, but he also modelled himself on Howard Stern and tried to be a shock jock. So he said a lot of wild shit. And he used to have some pretty awesome and out there people on his show as well. But he explains it, and the FBI dropped the investigation. What about Morbid? Lying about doxing his own kids and ex-wife. Yeah, I've heard him drunk and crying on a live stream before, sure. Yeah, that was quite funny. But he plays it all the time now. It's sort of like, do something new and funny. I'm not exactly sure what incident you're talking about, doxing his own kids, but I think doxing is being misused a lot on YouTube, just saying. Doxing is putting people's information out there with malicious intent. Me mentioning the name of my child, if I had one, isn't doxing unless I am doing it maliciously to myself. When people are on a live or on a live, on a panel, whatever, and they say where they live, they're not doxing themselves. They're saying where they live, unless they are putting that information out there with malicious intent against themselves. I was actually going to do a little series of really short videos just using the correct definitions for things that are said on YouTube all the time, and doxing is one of them. Gaslighting, white knighting. They are not used the way they are meant to be used. God, look at now the sun's out again. This place is just a painting. Look at it. It actually is a painting. I'm not really at the beach. That's just a painting. But yeah, that was funny when he rang Betty. God, didn't she get thirsty? You did, Francesca. Yeah, it's just worth it, and then make up, we're all adults, make up your own mind on it. Like, because unfortunately there's this new generation that have discovered him and he suddenly is getting a lot of attention. And to be honest, he's way better on his own. He doesn't need anyone on panel with him. Although I do love him and Wendy Pack together. And I've seen him do some really great stuff with some people that many creators on YouTube wouldn't touch with a 10-foot pole. There's no way they'd put them up on their panels. But, yeah, it doesn't help that you've got idiots like Life Perplexed, who 1 minute she's got Jim's number in her phone and they're talking all the time, and the next minute she's calling him a pedophile on YouTube. Like, it's fucked up. And if this guy is seriously all these things that people say he was reported to the FBI and they straight off the bat said these are all doctored videos and they're tampered and clipped together. We're not investigating this, and they dropped the whole thing. You think if he was a pedophile, they wouldn't have investigated and locked him up and thrown away the key? He has. He's been trolled more badly than most. But unfortunately, when you try to do the sort of shock jock, be controversial thing, and a lot of the anti-morbid stuff that's out there has come from bitter ex-mods too. Are you talking about Wendy Pack? Or are you talking about that Dame lady? Because she's something else. But Wendy Pack's fine. She's fabulous. Clara likes getting drunk and crying on live streams too, and doing creepy. Oh, isn't his dancing bad, DWS? It's shocking. We've been friends with Cherry the Mod since 2021 before I even knew who either guy was. Well, Cherry's a force to be reckoned with. I agree, cement shoes. Yeah, Dame. Hey, Aussie Ted, how are you? God, all the groovers are cruising in. This was meant to be just a quick little car park live, and here we are at the beach an hour and a half later. Yeah, Wendy's awesome. I've changed my channel name, so she doesn't remember me now, but she and I used to chat a lot, and if I saw her anywhere on YouTube and I'd always say hi, she knew who I was, but yeah, you're so right. Like when you don't drink, especially when you're out in public and you're with drunks, it's like, time to go. But yeah, Wendy's fabulous. But yeah, that Dame woman, oh my God. She's the most nasally, full-on Yeah, total. Yeah, she needs help. Cherry's from the small English community where Kerry came from during the JD trial. What, when the Kerry that was coming to art stuff, cement? I tired. I pruned about 500 bloody eggplants. So I don't know how you can do that. I mean, all power to you, girl. I can't. That's the only vegetable I can't stand, eggplant. But my God, the flowers are pretty. Oh, I didn't actually see him doing the finger poking, but it doesn't surprise me. And no, there aren't any chicks out there that are into that. I mean, well, maybe when we're 13. And we're not really even into it. We're just, my car's been running the whole time I've been here, and I'm like, do you want to just use up all your petrol, Tor? She was a crack up, yes. But I didn't know that. There you go, see? Small world. You don't need them either. Interesting. Just grow them. The flowers are beautiful. I think the eggplant flower is one of the prettiest flowers on earth, actually. But I was in too many share houses as a uni student with vegetarians who only made vegetarian curry, and it was always plumped up with mountains of eggplant. They killed eggplant for me. And it's a textural thing too. No, he's not. Why do you want to marry him, Cement? I've been very transparent about my feelings for him on YouTube for a long time. To be honest, in my circle of friends, he would be our worst nightmare. All of my friends' worst nightmare, including mine. If he was the last guy on earth, my friends and I wouldn't date him. You don't need to feel sorry, for there isn't one. I like passion fruit flowers, but learnt to not pick bunches of them when my Aubrey growled at you. Oh, you don't want to be. Oh, when your auntie. Aubrey's a cute word or name. I'm heading home. I'm going to go home to Sunny. I've got some domestic stuff I need to do. I need to get my little outfit sorted out for tomorrow. Eat fruit salad, wash my hair, cook some dinner. I'm having flathead and salad for dinner. Yum. I know, that's the greatest tragedy of YouTube 2023. Cement. Just ask Francesca and I. We've been morbid followers long before he was called morbid. And yes, it's most distressing, especially when he, says Blair is my ride or die and I will always defend him. And I'm like, that is the saddest thing I've heard all year. But isn't it the best? It's so good. Fresh Flatty, bring it on. I really only listen to Morbid when the glare isn't up there, but if he is up there, I use my troll. I don't go in there as me. He is fucking everywhere, and that's part of the issue. Like, he built his channel by being a panel whore. So he's on a small tarot channel and from Ireland and a scary story channel from Australia. He's freaking everywhere. He is, because he doesn't have a job. Like, that's what he does. He lives on YouTube while criticising Bullhorn Betty for living on YouTube. You know, I mean, I used to say, oh, Critical K and Hypocritical Glare are on. I'm putting them on. I need to clean the bathroom. It'll be done in 5 minutes. And he's got a very short memory. He talks about being on YouTube for 5 years, but he hasn't been doing shit on YouTube for 5 years, because if you go back to his first video, it wasn't 5 years ago. And he's sort of shot to prominence with Critical K. I mean, unfortunately, Critical K is how I ended up in the YouTube world. Well, kind of. But I would have never co-hosted with Critical K. I was equally stupid, though. I went the J way, and that ended badly. Total bromance. It's vile. No, yeah, I'm not giving him any credit. There's plenty of other people that are better trolls than him, including me. But my troll name is secret to everyone but one person. I'm a hilarious troll. And come on, some of you guys probably weren't around back in the day, but the Cooters were the OG troll gang, and we were fucking hilarious until Jay outed all of us. But that's another story for another day. It's good to have people that annoy you on YouTube as much as it's good to have people you enjoy. It's not hate watching. I just enjoy heckling. And he is ripe for the heckle. There is rarely a sentence that comes out of his mouth that isn't heckle-worthy. Oh, I used to crack up watching her. She was great to troll too, although